To Latin America now, where we continue our series from Colombia, where the new Land Reform and Victims Law was passed last month. And our correspondent Michelle Begue visited one region there where the armed conflict has left thousands of people displaced. CCTV spoke to the afro-Colombian communities there who are caught in a violent land dispute that sometimes seems to have no end.
To the naked eye, these lands look peaceful and harmonious. The forests are rich in biodiversity and the land is extremely fertile. But for peasants such as Lucho in the northern region of Colombia, these lands have seen a cruel and bloody conflict for over a decade.
These lands were fertilized with the blood of peasants that were killed in order to steal these lands. Blood is the fertilizer of the African palm.
The Colombian province called El Choco is located at the northwestern tip of the South American country, and its population is 85% Afro-Colombian and 9% indigenous. These marginalized communities lived peacefully off their land until the late 1990s, when they were forcefully displaced by armed groups. That is when the palm oil industry came to harvest African palm, popularly used as biofuel. Many companies acquired the lands illegally, and today the government recognizes the rights of the Afro-Colombians to reclaim their properties. Regardless of the legal recognition, the communities are constantly threatened as companies pay armed groups to intimidate and sometimes kill their leaders. Manuel from Pueblo Nuevo is one of those community leaders who is constantly under threat.
They're threatening us to break our spirit and the process we're going through, so we can tire of the fight and leave. They have killed many leaders who are fighting for the restitution of lands.
This area is called Higuamiando. This is a very rich and biodiverse sector. The palm industry has not reached this area yet, but the biggest threat is for the indigenous cultures. There's a sacred mountain called the Haikatuma. It can be exploited for gold, copper, and a mineral called molybdenum, which is used for electronics.
The natural wealth of these areas is the main reason these lands are so sought after. Manuel explains the Afro-Colombian community's small-scale farming practices will help conserve the rainforest and biodiversity, an important issue for the world, he says, as it faces global warming.
Nosotros conservamos el oxígeno.
We conserve the oxygen not only for us in Higuamiando, but the whole world. I've been outside the country. When I leave, I feel I suffocate because there's little oxygen. Here, oxygen is pure.
The towns located in Higuamiando and Curvarado continue to live under constant threat. When killing doesn't work, armed groups have tried to bribe community members and leaders. However, those that resist, such as Don Erasmo, feel that giving in to violence and bribes would be the equivalent to accepting money for the death of his friends and family.
De tanto sufrir esta violencia, pero no traiciono a mi pueblo.
I've suffered much from this violence, but I will never betray my people. If I betray this town, I betray my sons. I feel pain for everything that's happened. The day I die, I'll be happy, because I'm fighting for my land. I will leave some kind of history behind.
Yo muero contento. ¿Por qué? Porque yo estoy luchando una patria y alguna historia dejo yo.
The justice system in Colombia has recognized the plight of these leaders and their communities. They were granted collective titles to the lands in 1993, and the state legalized them in 2001. However, enforcement of the laws is yet to come. In the meantime, these communities continue to fend for themselves. Michelle Begue, CCTV, El Choco, Colombia.